Hello. Just waiting on Wick. Let's see what's going down. Let's get this shit going. Talking to Wick. I don't know how loud the volume is. I don't know how loud the volume is compared to my voice with the music. We're talking to Wick about fucking boyfriend applications and dating fans. I gotta find his. Oh yeah, that's what his Discord looks like. I remember. All right. Here we go.
Smeth, what's up?
What's up? Here's my.
Hey, Pixie. Sorry, we had a distraction. I had to deal with some Sunday stuff, but we'll get to the Pixie stuff. Don't worry.
President Sunday or the day of the week Sunday?
Sunday. He made a recording of my Discord and put it on Twitter, and I asked him to take it down. He did not take it down. So
he's a he's a maniac.
You laugh when you say that, so I don't know how serious you are.
No, I mean like he's incredibly he's predictably like conniving, but like it's almost like he's got like boy energy. There's something
boy
very likable.
What is
like
that?
Very playful. There's something very playful about him. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. It's something. He's like a.
I don't know what you mean, but
he's like the charm of like a boy on a schoolyard, like chasing like the girls around, going like ah.
I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. I think that look, I'll be real with you. Sunday can be funny, affable, charming, interesting, smart, intelligent, but he's stubborn as a mule, and he is petty in a way that I think it's funny because a lot of the problems I have with Destiny are evident in Sunday. They are very similar in their petty behaviors on times, and so yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So Adel, thank you for the raid, by the way. Anyway, sorry for this distraction. I just needed to deal with it. I didn't mean to put a rein on our conversation. Smith, how are you? How's life?
Good. How do I fucking... Never mind. Anyway.
You okay? You good?
How do I get my I forgot how to get my my icon off of the side of the Discord thing here. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see any icons on my end.
Yeah, I'm showing my own camera, so like it's got my camera in the corner of yours, and this is whatever. It's not really a big deal. Okay. I'm ready. You want to talk about Pixie?
I do. Well, I want to talk about your take. I want to talk about your take. Pixie made a tweet. Do you remember the tweet?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, well, I do.
Okay.
So basically, she listed several attributes that she wanted in a partner, a potential partner. Got to be 5'8" or over. Has to have at least one passion. They were pretty reasonable. It wasn't like that. He's got to be over 6 feet, makes over 6 figures. Wasn't any of those. It was just pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. A list of things she wanted, and at the end she said, and these are all negotiable if you're funny enough. And she made this a public tweet, and she also said, "I'm serious. If anyone meets these qualifications, DM me." Pretty reasonable. You had a take though about this. You didn't like it. Can you do you remember what you said about this?
Yeah. Why don't we find the tweet?
I mean, you made it. Go for it.
No, I mean her tweet too.
Oh, Portland says, I believe it was 5'7", maybe. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I just had to deal with the President's Sunday stuff, and that threw me off. But yeah, take your time, man. It's not like we're live. It's not like everyone's watching and waiting.
I'm just gonna
no
get
pressure
the
or nothing.
Twitter.
Yeah, get the Twitter out.
Yeah.
Make sure that I'm.
I don't think that it's a good idea to use your fans like a dating app.
Do you think that's what she was doing?
Yeah. But I there's only like I have a good imagination. I can imagine anyone being abusive if I'm creative enough. But like only 20 neurons in my brain can imagine Pixie as like an abusive person. I think she's very naive, and I don't think she's trying to be like manipulative.
But what you said was, and get the tweet up so we can read it, but if I recall correctly, what you said was, this is super toxic and parasocial, and this is going to do harm. That was kind of...
Yes.
As I read it, the summary of what your thoughts were on this. So regardless of whether you believe that she was purposely trying to cause harm, whether she was purposely doing any of this, you, again, publicly accuse this person, right, of being kind of a predator or behaving in a predatory manner, right?
No.
No, how is that not predatory behavior?
Because predatory implies intent. And I'm not saying intent. I'm saying that her behavior is harmful to both herself and others. That's what I think.
Fair enough. That's a fair correction. Can you tell me how her making this tweet specifically, right, harms others, and how it harms her, in your opinion, please?
Hold on, I just got the tweet. All right, let's go here. Let's go.
Read it for the class.
Yeah, I'm going to pop it up on my stream. Okay. So it says, telling male fans to compete for you and holding them to a list of standards publicly is very toxic. It sets up any relationship to fail, and it selects for Machiavellian narcissists and creates desperate parasocial fans with no self-respect.
Do you stand by that?
More or less. Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm going to ask you again. You said that this is going to harm her and going to harm her fans, her community, other people.
Yes.
Can you tell me how?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just. Okay. I think that I gotta get her tweet. We have to look at the tweets. Okay. Where did it go?
I mean, we can, but it's literally just a list of attributes, and she's saying, "Hey, I'm being serious. If you fit these, DM me."
Yes. Okay. and I got it. Here it is. So her tweet, she retweeted her own tweet, said, "I'm not even joking. If you fit these qualifications, send me a DM with a selfie and a few sentences about yourself." And the tweet that she's retweeting is, "Okay, you guys literally asked for it. My ideal type. Passionate about at least one thing, snarky personality type, willing to do silly things with me, 5'7" or taller, good at math, very organized, reminds you of Johnny Milani or Huey from The Boys, scrawny to fit build, dark hair." And I
What
think
a
there's
monster. Oh my God, this is terrible. How dare she, right?
I think that she's desperate, but I think that it's okay. So I think that if you do this, what you're setting up is now a relationship with your fans and your community where, like, anybody that does boyfriend applications does this, where now your fans see you as a potential partner. And so now, like, it's the most like extreme possible form of parasocial bonding that you could possibly do with your fans. So to set them up to be looking at you as somebody that they can get there. If I just impress her enough, then I can date her. I just need to like prove to her like that I'm good dating material, and it sets up your fans to see you in that way, and that's both bad for you and bad for your fans. Especially bad for you if you don't know, like if you're doing it on purpose to take advantage of them, it won't be as bad for you. But if you don't realize what's happening, then you're changing the relationship with you and your community to one where they are now like the boundaries are now being broken down, and they don't see you in the same way. They see you in a way like where they can cross into your world.
This is I get what you're trying to say. I do understand what you're trying to imply. I just fundamentally disagree with the premise as a whole. I think it's perfectly okay for someone who is feeling lonely, who is like, "Man, I wish I had someone to be with romantically," to reach out to the people in their life and say, "Hey, I'm interested. If someone meets these criterias, please contact me. We could set something up maybe."
Mhm.
I think that these potential pitfalls that you're outlining are one, worst case scenario, and two, just highly like, I think it's worse that you would discourage someone from reaching out to those around them when they are lonely, than it is for a person who is a streamer or a public figure to say publicly, "Hey, this is what I'd like. If you meet this," then it is a potential thing. Do you think Pixie's lying about this? Do you think that she would reject people? Like, do you think this is a trick to drive engagement?
I doubt it. It could be. It'll work for that, but I don't think so. We've already gone over that. I think that the people around you, which, like you're saying, reaching out to people around you, that's something you can do. You don't want to do it with like your family members. Usually, I mean, maybe if you're a Thorpe.
Well,
But,
you don't want to
but,
date your family.
right? But
Brave take, got you.
and yeah, but there's at least like some people that you don't want to do that with, and I believe that your fans are part of the group of people you don't want to do that with. Just like maybe your students or like if you were to, let's say that you are Johnny Depp and you go up on stage. So I saw Johnny Depp. He played with Jeff Beck before Jeff Beck died, and afterwards when we were walking to the car, there's like a horde of like young 20-year-old women like mobbing where his limo is going to come out because they want him to like pick them up, and that I think is really unhealthy. Like it sets you up to be a predator, and if you're desperate,
Finish.
So I think that there is inherently a power imbalance where fans see you as like a great, like they have an elevated idea of you, and you have a leg up on any relationship.
Do you think, if I may ask, unless you're not done,
that's done with that thought.
Okay. Um, do you think that Johnny Depp being hounded and like hordes of women swarming his car as he pulls off is analogous or the same as Pixie
No.
making a tweet on Twitter? Do you think that these are any in any way, shape, or form similar? Do you think that Pixie was tweeting to her fan base?
Yes, of course, she was absolutely tweeting to her fan base. But that's like her Twitter. Like, yeah, I do think I don't see how you could think anything otherwise.
Because
Uh,
if you wanted to just do it to your fan base, there are ways to make your post followers only. There's ways to make your post in your circle only. I think they're getting rid of that later. But for
but
now,
she didn't
there are
do that.
ways to
It was
make it to
public.
just her fans. But she
No,
didn't do it to just her fans.
no,
She
like
did it in public.
when you talk to your fans, you don't like the idea you're implying where you speak to your fans and it's a private thing. That's the opposite of what you do with fans. When you're talking to your fans, it's always public. So she made a public like announcement to her fans. Like there is no why would anybody make a private circle except if you're like Brittany Simon and
Okay,
you've got like a special situation where people pay to be part of some circle or something like there that doesn't happen. You speak to your fans
if
publicly.
if a public figure goes on a public platform, say they go on Dr. Phil or a
Wait, I
60
didn't
minutes
get to
interview.
fully answer your question. What's the
Oh,
difference between her and Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp, obviously, like he has way more responsibility than Pixie. What she's doing is nowhere near as bad as is Johnny Depp doing that. But also, what she's doing is also worse than Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp is not giving out a tweet saying, "Hey, if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, and you weigh this much, and you can make me laugh about this kind of thing, hit me up with a picture of yourself, and maybe we'll get this rolling because I'm lonely." Like if he did that, that would be unacceptable. We wouldn't
would
that like
it?
I think so.
I disagree. I think again, a public figure going on a public platform and saying, "Hey, I'm lonely. If anyone would like to, if anyone fits my criteria, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle." I don't think that's. I think it's odd to me, and this is why I called you weird for this, and I stand by that. I think it's weird that anyone thinks that's a problem of a person doing that. I don't. I think that that's just a natural thing. I think we want to, if anything, encourage people to reach out when they're lonely more. What I see all the time is people being scared to approach anyone else because they're going to think they're doing something wrong by approaching them. Like I know plenty of men who will not approach women in almost any circumstances because they worry what they're doing is somehow wrong, that it's wrong to go up to a woman at a grocery store and say, "Hey, I think you're neat," um, and start a conversation. I think that we have stigmatized that much too much, and I fear and I worry and I think that what you're doing with what Pixie is doing is in a similar vein. You're trying to stigmatize someone who's just lonely, who has no ill intentions from reaching out, who is going to do no harm, right?
No.
Again, can you tell me what is the harm that is going to be done
Okay.
to her
So
community? How will
so
they be hurt?
they will be hurt because now they're going to so for all the people that reach out and they are like turned down that is a form of harm, but also now their relationship to her is dramatically changed where they are going to, like so being parasocially attached like that is not good to so like let's say that I get like a crush on you because you tell me that I could potentially date you and I'm like I meet those things. Wick is like I've always thought Wick is so attractive, and
I am. But go on.
so like then every time I'm watching you like now I'm gonna watch you more. I'm gonna like Wick likes Pokemon. Oh man, I like Pokemon. I need to Wick. I like Pokemon, and like that's like to encourage that reaction from your fans is like awful. And also, I think that, like I said in the tweet, I think that it enables like Machiavellian types, like to like, especially if you're giving people a list of things, it encourages people to try to like it opens her up to being taken advantage of. But I'm not against reaching out. I think that there's fundamentally a different thing between publicly to your fans doing this, and reaching out to people. Like I don't think it's bad inherently to date fans. Like I think you can do it ethically, but I don't think I think you have to do it like publicly. Yeah, like you it would have to be private, and they can't be a super fan. If they're a super fan, the power imbalance between their perception of you and your perception of them is so drastically different that I don't think you can ethically date them unless somehow they stop being a super fan. But if they just like your content, like then you can that's probably fine. But it can't
I'm really
be.
trying to untwist this pretzel. I feel, and I'm being genuine when I legitimately do not understand the problem with someone really, really liking you, right? Gang, if you're out there, find a person who thinks the sun shines out of your ass. That's going to be a good relationship. You want that kind of
For you.
relationship.
Yes, for you, but not for them.
What?
So to date somebody that like thinks that you're a god is going to be great for you. It's not going to be great for them.
Why not? Especially if you return the favor.
And you think that they're a god?
Again, that's hyperbolic.
They're not fans. She's not fans of her fans.
Again,
her fans
Pixie.
are fans of her.
Well, that's not true. I like my community.
Yeah, but you don't follow. You don't watch. You don't like. You don't. You
What are
don't.
you talking about? I watch
They don't
members
make.
all the time.
They don't make content that you watch. That no. They're just. You only care about them because they're your fans. You've bonded over you. The thing that you've bonded with your fans over is you. So if the thing that you're bonding with a partner over is how great you are, that is a toxic, like, parasocial beginning to a relationship. The first thing we're going to talk about is how much we both agree that I'm awesome. That is not a good start.
That's not what she's doing, though. That's not what Pixie's doing.
That's what fans are. That's what fans. That is the relationship between a fan.
That is one way you can engage with this content for certain. And I don't know Pixie that well, but I can imagine if someone came off as a super fan, it would probably be off-putting. It's off-putting to me when someone off the jump starts talking about how great and awesome I am. I get suspicious that, oh, this person's taking me for a ride, right? That's my suspicion. It's not always true. Some people are just really nice, but it is what it is. But what Pixie is like doing here is saying, hey, I want someone in my life that likes me and I want to like them. Here's a list. I'm going to go on the most public platform I possibly can and say it to as most people as I possibly can, and hopefully someone hits me up that I mesh with. I think that's just wise, and I don't see any harm that doesn't exist outside of just dating in general, right? There's always a possibility you're going to be with someone who's weird or abusive, but I don't think that her making this public and giving herself more options in any way makes that more likely. And in fact, I think it would be giving her more of a selection makes it less likely. Also, I don't think it's inherently harmful if someone approaches you and then makes a move and then you turn them down. That doesn't hurt them.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, the thing that we are grappling here is you're saying basically there's no difference between fans and anybody else. There's literally no difference. You're just dismissing that. So we need to go point by point here. Okay. So let's talk about the parasocial, like, so how you, like, so if you do that with your fans, you've fundamentally changed the relationship between you and your fans. Now they see you as a potential person that they can date and that they are allowed to, like, hit on and try to reach out to date. So do you have any disagreement with that? Do you think that that's good?
No, she is explicitly inviting people to come and reach out. Yeah.
Right. She's broken that boundary
to everyone, not just her fans. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay.
Yeah.
So
why would it not be?
So okay. I think you're ignoring the thing I'm asking about. I'm asking about having your fans see you as someone that they can, like. So if the people watching you right now think that they can message you and then date you, and they know what you like and they want to fit what you like because they like you so much. I want to be the perfect, because I love Whick. I want to be the perfect partner for Whick. Do you think that that's a healthy relationship for someone to have with their fans?
I don't think the person who's behaving in that way is behaving in a healthy way. No, I don't think that's true.
Okay.
But I don't think that Pixie, um, doing what she did made that more or less likely.
I think she
I
did.
think that the person who is going to do that is going to do that regardless of what Pixie wants, to be clear.
No.
Um,
No, because she's literally expressly told them that they can do it. And she even gave them a list of things that she is into, so they can, so now people can compare themselves to that and try to fit. Like, so if you had a crush on her, there's a lot of celebrities I have a crush on, but those celebrities don't
yeah.
don't post that. Oh, all the qualities. These are all the qualities that I like, and if you match these, hit me up. That if they were to do that, now I would be comparing myself to those things. Wait, do I fit those things? So it's like just having a crush on a creator is not the same as having a crush on a creator and thinking that you could have a chance with them and having this hope. Like, and now in all of their like fans that see that want to reach out to her, they have created this fantasy where they're like married to her, or they're having sex with her, or they're dating her, and they think that this is achievable. And they have it's like now you instead of it being watching an entertainment thing, it's like buying a lottery ticket to like get your wish come true. And she's very attractive. I'm sure that there are a lot of people that have crushes on her. I don't know if that's like weird to say, but like that's
sure.
true.
Let me try it this way. Do you think it's toxic or manipulative or wrong or whatever for a woman to post on Tinder or a dating app selfies and a list of qualities she wants in a mate? Do you think that's
Yeah.
inherently bad?
No.
No. Okay. So if Pixie did this on Tinder, if she went on Tinder and put some thirst traps out there and said made basically the same statement in her bio, hey, here's the list of stuff I want. If you meet this, swipe right, which I don't know, I don't use Tinder. Like whichever way you swipe to accept, and hit me up. Do you think that would be predatory or wrong or gross or anything like that?
No, I don't think using dating apps is
But her
wrong.
fans could be on dating apps.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Okay, well, I just don't understand the fundamental difference of why her doing it on Twitter instead of Tinder makes it parasocial and wrong.
Okay.
Can you walk me through that?
Okay. So you so someone who happens to know your content and they see you on Tinder and they swipe right on you and you swipe right on them, there was no there's you can assess them or whatever and to try to make it work out, whatever. I don't know. That's fine. The difference is if you publicly tell all of your fans, because you're saying this on Twitter, she's telling this to all of her fans, that it's like sending out your it's sending out your dating app to everybody. Like that happening on Tinder is a private thing. It being a public thing, like a private thing does not change the relationship between you and all of your fans. It changes the relationship between you and one fan. And like one fan who you're actively like interested in or considering.
What if she put a link to her Tinder on her social page, right? Like on her Twitter bio or her link tree or whatever.
Yeah, that's bad.
And she get a link to her Tinder. That's bad? That's wrong?
Yeah. I don't think Tinder would work that way. I don't think, but maybe it does.
Dating.
OkCupid.
It doesn't have to be Tinder, right? It
Yeah.
can be any dating site.
You shouldn't do that with your fans. I think that's literally the same as that would be equal.
Okay. This is the thing. Acting, and this is where I think that you're missing it. That you think that everyone who sees that tweet on Twitter are her fans. I just fundamentally disagree.
Not everyone, but like,
and not everyone who even follows her are her fans. I know for me,
sure,
for my things, I would give it 50-50. My hate followers versus people who follow me because they like me. I think it's probably 50-50. I'm not sure, right?
Well, I mean that makes it worse. That makes it worse because now, like, it's not only that she's broadcasted it to her fans, also her hate followers. So that increases the risk for her. But what are you saying? Are you saying that it would be fundamentally, it increases the risk if you send out your dating application to people who hate you and want to hurt you? Okay, that puts you at risk for people to trying to take advantage of you. But like, are you saying
a way that's different than having a public persona in general, like being on a
having a public persona.
General,
having a public
risk.
persona is not sending out a dating a boyfriend application. Like, are you saying that there is a difference between like, so her saying it's her posting it on Twitter?
I can imagine a way which this is predatory, right? And I'll give you a scenario where I think it would be predatory. If she's like, hey, if you're a tier 3 sub, you have a chance to get with me. So my tier 3 subs, I know the people I know who really already support me for me. If you were to fill out this application or meet these criterias and then DM me, then I'll consider you, right? I think that is predatory because you are basically charging money for access, if you will. It's pay to play, if you will. But her simply doing this in public, which you seem to find as a way to increase risk, I don't think it does to any appreciable degree. And I think that, like, it's inherently not predatory. I think it's inherently fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, do I think it's the wisest way to look for a mate? Okay, probably not, right? Like, but I mean, you're casting.
I never said it was.
Okay, right?
I never said it was predatory, because if it was predatory, it'd be she was trying to take advantage of them.
Or parasocial, or manipulative, or any of these other words that mean the exact.
No, manipulative.
Like, very similar things.
No, not very similar, because in predatory, manipulative imply intent. If it is manipulative, it's not intentionally. There's a power imbalance between a person and their fans, and so a public figure and their fans. There's a power imbalance. They see you as something greater than you see them. So I was about to ask you. So you were saying, like, oh, of course, there are people that aren't your fans that follow you on Twitter. Oh, well, wow. Like, but like that. So like, you are a public figure. When you post on Twitter, you are saying it to your fans. Maybe not all your fans follow your Twitter.
Everyone.
Yeah, but
as many people as you can.
Maybe not all your fans follow your Twitter, but you are saying this to your fans, potential new fans, to your haters, and any random other riffraff that are following. But the purpose of having a platform, a public platform, as a public figure, is to speak to your fans and to speak to the public who may be potential fans or your haters. That is the reason that you have a public. So is there a difference? So you're saying that because that not all the people that follow you on Twitter are somehow different, and if she were to do this like on a stream, like, then theoretically all of her fans are watching. Maybe the people watching your stream right now aren't your fans. Maybe they're your haters. Maybe your family members.
I see several haters in chat right now.
Sure. Okay. So then, like, so it's impossible to me to say that anybody's ever speaking to their fans, because there's no point in time ever when you're actually only talking to your fans. I don't understand that point.
I gave you a scenario where she would be talking to her financial supporters and encouraging others to become financial supporters in order to gain access to her in a way that I think would be icky, right? Parasocially wrong. But she is, again, not doing it. She is simply on a public platform making a public statement that she wants intentionally as many people to see as possible, so that she can get as many applications as possible, so she has many options as possible. That's not wrong. That's just
okay,
casting your net wide.
Actually, like, you're fundamentally lying, or confusing the facts. Yes, when you say that, because if she wanted this application to apply to any random person that doesn't know who she is, then she would have included details about herself and maybe a photo of herself or something. But that's not the case, because there's an assumption baked in that the people that are seeing the tweet already know what she looks like and they know who she is. So that fact,
profile picture is her, right? Am I
Okay,
wrong?
she's got a profile picture. Okay, but like she's not giving any information about herself. You're having a profile picture like that that's
Like Tinder, you don't tell everyone all about you, right? Like you just say, "Hey, this is what I
no.
look like. This is what I want. Swipe right or left."
Okay, so she
Cool,
says this
cool.
is what these are the properties. These are the I want you to like I like people that are passionate about things like all these they look like this. They're this height. But she gives none of that information about herself because there's an assumption that you already know something about her because she's a public figure and that's why you're fucking following her account. Like this point, we can't get past like the fact that making a tweet on Twitter is talking to your fans because other people also follow your Twitter is insane to me. The fact that you're thinking that you're only talking to your fans if you're doing some specific thing out to people who pay for you to like have a specific communication with a circle of people who pay to you is the only time anybody's ever talking to their fans is bullshit. When you post on Twitter, you are talking to your fans. When you make posts, you make posts announcing your streams and stuff. You're not doing that. You're doing that to people to watch your stream as a public figure.
Again, right? It's not you are saying that this is specifically targeted, or at least you're implying. You may not be saying this or intending to say this, but what you're implying is that she is specifically targeting people in her fan base and creating, or intentionally or not, this parasocial dynamic that is unhealthy. And I am saying that this way of thinking is fundamentally flawed because her simply announcing that she is single does not change the dynamic for 99% of these people, right? The
That's
people
where we
who are going
disagree.
to hit on her are gonna hit on her, right?
That's where we
I
disagree.
think that like yeah, well, that's one of the ways we disagree. There's a
Okay.
couple. The other thing, right, is that her not putting out all this information about her, we don't do that when we meet people. If I go off on someone on the street, like part of dating is actually getting to know someone. I don't date after I know them, right? I date them as I get to know them.
That's not
And
my
so
point.
saying, "Hey, this is what I want. Here's what I look like." That's really all the information you need to give. And you say, "If you want to date me, we can get to know each other."
No,
Cool.
that's not what happened. She didn't say this is what I want, this is what I look like. She said this is what I want. Message me, because there's an assumption that you know what she looks like. Like she has a profile picture, yeah.
Yeah, she has a profile picture. Yeah,
okay,
of course.
so like so yeah, but like that's all that's there. And she's saying I need you to send me like she's giving a list of things about you. If you meet these things, then you're going to be good for me. But she's not providing any information for the other person on the other end of that message to assess whether she is good for them. So there's an assumption that you already there's an assumption that you already know that you like her and you know that you think that she is going to be a good. There's no other reason that you would send the message.
The only reason you would send the message is if you were interested because I fit these criteria. I think she's cute. Let's see what we got. I don't think that. I think that's just.
You think she's cute.
You were problematizing Smeth. You like seriously. You were problematizing something that is not problematic. You are creating. You are conjuring up all these possible scenarios of possible perfidy, and not promiscuous, pernicious behaviors that maybe, possibly, could be, perhaps. But again, we look at it just look at it as a normie. As a normie, you can see, oh, someone is lonely. They post on a public platform saying, "I'm lonely. Here's my specs. You interested? Hit me up." I think that's human. I think that's healthy. I think that's okay.
No, she didn't say, "Here's my specs." She said, "Here's the specs I want you to meet." And she didn't say, "Here's my specs."
Sure, fair enough.
Because she's a public figure and she's assuming that you know about her, and she's doing this so she's desperate, and she knows that there are people that think that she's very attractive and think that she's very smart, and so these are the people that would be ideal because there's already interest, and she knows that. And I think that desperation and going towards that, because so most normies don't have a following of people that like they don't have a following of fans. So like it's not a normal like just out to everybody situation. And when you do have fans, there is a power imbalance between you and your fans, and you need to be protective of that boundary.
Sure, again, when we're talking about if she was asking, I agree with you that it could be problematic if she's asking for money, pay to access, or if she's asking them to perform something outlandish, right? Like, but she's not asking for that, right? What she's asking for in her tweet was send me a photo of you, fair ask, and send me a couple paragraphs of what you are, who you like, what you're about. I think that's not out of pocket. It doesn't like it doesn't create any kind of weird dynamic or power imbalance that
I
isn't
think
just
it does.
naturally in every single relationship you'll ever have.
No,
So
because it doesn't actually. You're right. The power balance already exists because she is a public figure with fans. Okay, so the power balance already exists, and so she's going to people who are already have the power imbalance with her, and she's reaching out to those specific people as potential partners, and she's like, so like, yeah, like I don't think that she's creating power balance. I think that she's taking advantage of a power imbalance, and by doing that she is dissolving boundaries between a public figure and fans, and she is changing the relationship between a public figure and the fans into an unhealthy one.
let's try this angle. Let's try this angle. We're going in
I think
circles
wait,
here, and
hold
I
on.
don't want to go in circles.
I need to virtue signal one thing. I do think she's a good person. I don't think she's trying to hurt anybody. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to virtue
Actually,
signal that.
you're clear of the intention accusations, right? You are not intentionally a predator. Okay, let me let me try this. How many people does a person have to have watch their stream or follow them on Twitter for them to be considered a public figure in your mind? Would you
Um,
have a problem if she had a tenth of her following? What she got, like 14K on Twitter or something?
I think that your responsibility as you get bigger goes like higher. Like I already said with Johnny Depp, like his responsibility like towards like his fans is like way stronger. If you like I probably have less fans than Pixie does, but I still wouldn't do that. Like I like I it just seems like very wrong to me. It seems very obvious to me to be wrong to do. She for her it'd be more wrong. And the more
So
fans you get, the more wrong it is.
even if she was a two viewer Andy, right? She
It'd
had two viewers,
it'll be a little
and she
wrong.
was streaming to two viewers, and she said, "Hey, I know the two viewers in chat that always hang out with me. I'm lonely. Do either of you meet this criteria? Can you send me a picture of you? Maybe we can date or something." You think that would be wrong?
Yeah, I think that the less fans you have, the less risk there is because there's going to be less people that like have crushes on you and have a really
Okay, so
inflated
even at
opinion
two
of you.
viewers, you think it's wrong.
So when you are small, there are less people parasocially attached to you, so the risk is much lower. And when you are big, then there are much more people in it because it is a spectrum. There is no cutoff point. It is a spectrum. And I think that she is far enough along on that spectrum that she has enough fans and enough people that probably have crushes on her and stuff, like that it's just not okay to do that.
Let me ask this. Is this only an online thing? So what if you were in the real world? You worked with someone,
Mm.
or you were in the same hobby group. You know this guy has a crush on you, okay? Or this girl, right? Whatever you're into, I don't know. You know this person has a crush on you. Is it wrong to flirt with them and see if they're interested in going out with you? You know they
No.
have a crush on you.
Are they like
So
your fan or are they in equal to you that you see like
what do you
with
mean
mutual?
a fan
So
or an
like
equal?
okay, so like if they are your employee and you're a manager, then maybe it could be wrong. If you're both employees on the same level, then there's nothing wrong with it. If you're both managers, there's nothing wrong with it. And if you're a manager and his employee, it's not even there's a situation where maybe that's fine, okay? But like but the risk is like the risk of you hurting them, like being like having power over them, you're now like you are putting yourself in a position where you are wielding your power dangerously and it could hurt the person.
Okay. I think I see the problem. You view streamers as a form of employer
No,
or a
that's
form
not.
of
No, no.
no?
No,
Where
it's
did
an
I
it's
miss?
analogy. No, because in real life, so in real life you don't have fans. Okay, someone just has a crush on you, and you are equal power level. You see them around. That is not the same as someone who is a fan.
Okay, so let me get through these. Testicle Johnson for $2. Quick, provide your list. I'll do it later. $2 from Brianna Wu. First Sonia, now Pixie. Why is Smith always bullied? I don't know. Um, people, I'm trying to engage. Like people saying I don't know how to engage, but it's like someone telling me that the sky is orange. It's obviously not true, and so it's something I'm try to dig at to find different angles to maybe we can communicate properly. That's what I'm trying to do here, so that we can understand one another.
It's
Because
not engaging.
again,
you're just. I mean, we can
how is
just
that not
disagree.
engaging?
We just disagree. I think that putting out the list encourages her fans to have a toxic parasocial attachment to her, which is unhealthy for them and bad for their lives, and it also puts her at
Sure,
risk.
this is your
You don't
this is
think
your
that those
assertion.
you don't think those are
This is your
true.
assertion.
All right.
Can you
Okay.
point to me who's being harmed?
Her fans and potentially her.
I I just don't see the harm. I don't see the hurt that is any way different than someone. If I know someone has a crush on me, do I have power over them? Kinda, kinda, right? But if I am simply saying, "Hey, this is what I'd like. If you meet this, maybe we can go out for a drink sometime and see if this works out." To say that that is predatory or not predatory, I'm sorry for using that word. I keep using that word. Apologies. To say that it is problematic or toxic,
Toxic's a good word.
to say that that is toxic is fundamentally wrong. That is not toxic. That is human nature. That isn't a thing that hurts people unless you view simply being rejected as a form of harm, and I reject that off the top of my head, right? Like I out of hand, I should say. I reject the fact that simply saying, "Oh, well, I'm interested in this. Oh, but it's not working out. Sorry, not my thing." I don't think that hurts. I don't think that's harmful, right?
Okay. I think that there's a difference between fans and just like random people, like someone that has a crush on you, like a fan that has a crush on you, and just like a colleague or someone you see every day or once in a while isn't the same. So wait, what do you think that there are any forms of parasocial relationships that are harmful?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
For
So, because
example,
I think that this is the most extreme possible form of parasocial relationship that you are encouraging. So, can you tell me what you think is a harmful parasocial relationship?
okay. I already used the money example. Another example would be like if I were to tell my fans or my followers or my chat, whatever, we'll use fans for the sake of the conversation. Hey, chat, I think we should go bully Smeth. I think we should all go bully Smeth. This is an example. Don't bully Smeth. That would be parasocial and wrong because you were leading your followers as some sort of mob in a crusade of some sort against someone to harm someone. But I think it's natural, and like having a hero is parasocial, right?
Yes,
Did you have a hero growing up?
of course.
Yeah. Did that hurt you?
No,
So
but
again,
my hero
I think
didn't tell me that I could apply to be their boyfriend. That would be
what if they
harmful.
did?
That would be harmful.
You keep saying this. Why?
I mean, that's how you end up with like Michael Jackson doing shit, and that's how you end up with Louis C.K. And that's how
I
you end
agree.
up.
If
That's how you
Pixie
end.
was telling children this, that would be bad.
Well, there are probably children seeing that.
Okay, I guess she didn't give the age limit, but I think we can assume, right? There's
Yeah.
some obvious
Okay.
obvious examples
So
of like yes, She didn't put of age in her description there, but I think we can imagine that would be one of the criterias.
Of course,
No,
of course. But like, so in your example of a unhealthy parasocial relationship, I don't think you gave an example of an unhealthy parasocial relationship. You just said an example of somebody taking advantage of an already unhealthy parasocial relationship. So like, I don't think.
I think that, just real quick, because this is important. That's what makes it unhealthy, is the
Okay.
taking advantage.
Okay, so you don't think that having a parasocial relationship is unhealthy?
Not in and of itself, no.
Okay, in no form.
I hesitate to say no form, because I'm
Okay.
sure I can imagine situations.
So,
But in most forms, no, I don't think it's an.
all right, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a hero, or like looking up to people, looking up to, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. or something. But if Robert Downey Jr. is now posting on Twitter, these are the things I'm looking for a boyfriend, and like, if you meet these things, send me a selfie and message me. And I'm now he's not just a hero. He's like, I believe that he's actually like potentially part of my life, and my connection to him is now like it's like you're telling people to you're encouraging like obsession and like fanaticism, like on an extreme level that's beyond just having a hero.
$2 from the trip to say no age requirement. Case closed. Pixie's a predator. Lock her up. No, come on, gang.
No, like, no. So the point I was getting at there was it's not like she's a predator. She wants to take advantage of young people.
Serious...
No. But that reminded me, because like the thing is, it's not that she wants to, but like fans of hers that might be like underage will still get the negative effect of the like seeing her in that way. Oh, I could actually date her. Maybe like one day, like I could date her or something. And young people are even more susceptible to that obsession and that fixation. Have you ever seen a stream where they do? Have you ever seen
a stream?
A stream where like a
more than I'd like, but
like an amaranth type of streamer, you know, like a flirtatious type of streamer,
and they do of them.
Right, and they do. Have you ever seen when they do like boyfriend applications?
But what makes that wrong, in your opinion?
Because of the people,
I agree with you, it's predatory. I agree with you. Amaranth and that kind of streaming is predatory, and there's a reason why it's predatory, right?
Yeah, because you're making all these people feel so strongly connected to you and so hopeful, and thinking that there's actually like a chance, and like there's maybe one person that could message her that there's a chance, but like all those other people, now you've created a relationship where they see you in this extreme way, and that is not just gonna go away. Like,
okay. But the bad part of that is that there isn't actually a chance. Yeah. The bad part of that is that it's a scam. It's, again, intentionally set up to drain them of their time and attention and money. That's what makes it wrong. Is it the intention of it, and like the fact that it's not real? Pixie, as you've agreed to at the start of this conversation, is being honest. This is something she actually wants. So when we talk about this not being or someone being potentially a part of someone's life, yes, this is a very real thing.
No, not very real.
If someone meets Pixie's qualifications, there is every you have just as much chance as a person on the street, right? Like, if not more so, than becoming a part of Pixie's life. When they start to call you, to DM you, to hang out with you, is it still parasocial?
Yes.
Why?
Because
at what point does it turn from being
all of those people, so like this is because the way it works is actually like what you just said is like fucking wrong. The way it works is not that there's actually, it's not like a slot machine where there's like a statistical chance that if you put the coin in, then you're gonna win. There's like, actually most of those people literally have no chance, period, and they think that they do. And now that their imagination of my relationship to you, Whick, is that you are my potential lover, and I've imagined our future together, and I've imagined us having sex, and I've imagined all this, and I'm sending you this thing because I think that you're the one and I'm the one for you. That is not something you want your fans to think. That's not something you want to do to your fans, just so that you can find the right one. To do that all to all your fans, that's not good. And if in the right one, you are the chance of you like finding a super fan or of somebody who's just actually trying to hurt you or take advantage of you, or that is like Machiavellian. Maybe they're trying to social climb. Maybe they just want to get to you so that they can get to Destiny there, so they can get to some bigger streamers. You're opening yourself up to all that too. But that's another point. I'm just saying that to damage to your fans is now they've seen this and now that's how they feel about you. You've created this relationship between you and your fans.
Let me try this. Okay. First of all, why am I talking to Smith? Because I want to talk to Smith, gang. Okay, I like Smith. Believe it or not, I think that Smith is an honest actor, and I'm trying to genuinely engage with his points. But I think where we're diverging ways is I think that you are asserting that by virtue of her putting this out there, this inherently creates or opens this up, this Pandora's box, if you will.
Yeah.
In a parasocial Pandora's box, if you will.
Yes.
Where I do not think it inherently does. I think that the people who are going to think like that, the people who do have those weird connections, will have it irregardless of whether or not she puts this out. I think that there are people who will absolutely reach out to her that otherwise wouldn't, but they're not going to take it that far, right? The person who would hold back isn't the type to do these weird kind of get their hopes up. And again, what is the difference between someone taking you out on a date, you going out for a few dates, and getting your hopes up in that way, and then saying, "Oh, man, it's just not working out." Do you think that the person who does that is hurting the person who thought it was going great and has imagined this life together and started writing your initials in a heart in all their notebooks? Do you think that that is the fault of the person who is turning the other person down?
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. If what is the difference between, because you said the harm was that people, it will get their hopes up. They'll begin imagining these scenarios in their head of having little pixies together running around and having a happy family because she put this out. What would be the difference between that harm and someone going out with someone for a few dates and then again, the person thinks it's going well, they get this image in their head. I mean, you're going out with them, maybe you make out a couple times, maybe you have sex, right? Do you think that the person then being like, "Oh man, this just isn't working, sorry, not interested anymore," do you think that they have also done harm to the other person, right?
Well,
do you think it's their fault? Do you think they're responsible for that other person's weird
I guess
thoughts?
I mean, they could be to some extent, but that would be down to the nuance of like, you know, like maybe they, but yeah, sure, that's normal. That's not a problem. But the difference there is that those people that you turn down people in real life. You start talking to someone on Tinder and you're like, you know, this isn't working. I'm turning you down, but this other person was really into me and I turned them down. And that's hurtful to them, but that's just normal and you have to live with that. The difference is that person is going to now go away and now I'm not part of their life. Your fans, though, they are still going to be your fan. They're not just going to like, or I guess maybe some of them will just like cut you off, but that's not true. They're just going to like now continue to interact with you, continue to see you all the time, and that is like, so like they don't get to have that going away. Like when you get turned down by somebody, you have the great fucking luxury of being able to fuck off and never see them again in your whole life. That's not the case here.
Okay, so I see this all the time. It happens to me on occasion, believe it or not, where I won't do what someone wants, or I will disappoint someone. You know what they do? They fuck off. They fuck off. They're like, "I'm not watching this anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore." I see female streamers all the time. there's I don't want to use the name as an example because they haven't given me permission to use the story, but it was a public story. But I'll just tell you the story. So they got 100 subs, 100 gift subs. It's a female streamer. They got 100 gift subs from someone because they were sad. Okay, they were sad on stream, and this person wanted to cheer them up, so they give them 100 gift subs. They're like, "Thank you." Later on, they keep talking on stream, right, in chat, and this person's like, "So do you have a boyfriend?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do." And this person gets mad and fucks off and just never goes back in the stream again. Like, this happens all the time. So to insinuate like that somehow fans are trapped in their streamers circle or cycle, right?
Yeah,
I just think it's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, so like your best case scenario is that literally everybody that like looked up to her and thought she was attractive and then got some glimmer of hope there just like never like they just leave and she loses all of those people.
Or they just realize, "Oh, okay, well, I guess I didn't work out." And
okay, so then that's not what's happening. Like so then
it could be both.
Okay, so your ideal scenario is where the bad thing that I'm describing doesn't happen, but we both agree that that bad thing will happen, but sometimes it won't.
I don't.
It's not going to do that to everybody. It's going to do that. It's going to do that.
And it gets rejected, because if you're saying that that's what might happen, yes, that might happen.
It's not the same as it's not the same as just getting rejected by a mutual person who's on the same level. It's like if you are a fan of somebody and their content and then they tell you that you might have a chance and you're like, oh, maybe I do. Then like, well, I guess I was wrong. I never did have a chance. Okay. But you still, it's like, it's not like you stop liking their content. You're talking about someone leaving your stream because they don't like your content, but I'm talking about someone who watches your stream because they like you. And like, so you're telling all the people that like you.
Do you mind if I invite Pixie on? I don't know if she's still watching.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Pixie, are you watching still? Do you want to come and talk to Smeth about it, address his allegations? I saw you in here earlier. I don't know if you stuck around this long. If you did, congratulations. You're stronger than most of my fans, right? But if you're out there and you'd like to talk to Smeth about this, I think maybe getting your perspective as a parasocial streamer, right? That is doing this. Maybe your arguments can reach him in a way that mine cannot. So please just jump backstage, !point Discord and chat, and we'll see if we can make this happen. If not, all good. I understand. This is kind of a spur of moment thing. I'm just really trying to. I think we have several impasses here. I think that you are. Again, I keep repeating myself, but it bears repeating that there is no fundamental difference between someone doing it like Pixie's doing it and someone going out with someone in real life, right? In meat space, if you will, getting someone's hopes up and then again, rejecting them.
So the only way that could ever be the case, which I don't think it is the case whatsoever, is if there's no difference between people who are equals into you in life and your fans. You're saying your fans are actually your equals and there's no power imbalance between a public figure and their fans.
Power. Okay. I don't think that there is. Let me try it this way. Because again, we're going in circles here. So I'm trying to get us off the loop. I'm trying to break the cycle. So I'm trying to phrase it in a way or maybe tackle it from a different direction so this can be a little bit more productive. And gang, if you're in chat and you want in on the conversation, come on backstage. We'll pull you in one at a time. Because I don't think Pixie's here anymore. But yeah, just come on in and we can have this discussion. Maybe you'll have a better angle than I do. But I think that the power imbalance inherent isn't necessarily one that is going to be harmful, right? So there is a power imbalance, quote unquote, between a fan and a celebrity, a public figure. There's a big power imbalance between someone who is a fan of Guns N' Roses and Guns N' Roses, only in the sense that Guns N' Roses has the ability to influence the fan more than the fan has the ability to influence Guns N' Roses. However, if you are not using your influence to hurt someone else, I don't think that this is a problem. And I don't think that what Pixie was doing was using her influence, intentionally or not, to hurt others. I don't think getting their hopes up, quote unquote, is doing them harm.
Okay, I think that making them see you as an like making that like pretending as if you are equals to them and making them believe that for a moment is not the same as like getting like it's not like same as like someone who you turn down in real life. Like that the fan now for a moment thinks that I'm more than a fan. I'm your equal, and I am like you. We have matched on Tinder potentially, like that. That's not the same as just turning someone down. That is not just getting your hopes up. That is a breach of the boundary between a fan and a creator, and making them feel as if they're equals, and then telling them that they're not. That's never going to go away. They're going to always feel that attachment to you, and as if they are that equal to you. And the power imbalance is not just that you can influence them. That is secondary. The power imbalance is emotional. You have like sway over them emotionally. They care about you more than you care about them because you don't even know who they are.
But this exists in any situation, any relationship, online or offline, fan or non-fan, any relationship where one person likes someone more than the other person likes the other person. This exists everywhere. And this
Right.
we are problematizing something that is
But fans,
inescapable.
yeah, but there's like I'm saying that the relationship between a public figure and their fans is different than the relationship between peers. And you make your fan feel like they are a peer, which is what you're describing. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine for peers to feel that way. But when you make a fan feel that way, now like if the people watching you that you don't even know who they are, they think that they are like your friend, and they think that when you were talking to chat, you were talking specifically to them, and like that is unhealthy. And if you've encouraged them to become that, now you've hurt them. That's caused damage to their life. They shouldn't think that. You shouldn't want them to think that. And encouraging that just so that you can have higher chances of finding a partner is bad.
Okay, I'm going to bring some people on one at a time. And if they have questions for me or you, or in general, we'll see what they have to say. Maybe someone else will help break this loop. You're live.
It's not necessarily an American thing, but
You're live.
oh, hello. What's good?
So
Do you have thoughts on the situation? Do you have thoughts on what we've been talking about? Have you been listening?
Yeah,
Do you know why you're here?
yeah, I know I'm here.
Okay. What you got?
I just feel like, why do people care so much? I don't really understand why people care at all. Like, it's like, if that's the situation that like gets you so upset,
Oh, Pixie's at
and
dinner. She can't talk right now, by the way. Just FYI. But go on.
there's so much other shit going on the internet. If that's the shit that makes you like really like you grind your gears, then like you must be just pissed constantly. So
I think this is to
that's
you,
my thought.
Smith. What do you think?
uh,
Do you think you're overreacting?
no, I don't think that
Overreacting.
I think that I am being characterized as like this is like the biggest thing that I care about. But no, it's just something I saw, and I saw a public thing on Twitter, and I said this is toxic and harmful. So I just made a public tweet about it, and that is the end of it.
Dude,
And
you should probably get off Twitter, honestly.
why? Because you don't like my opinion?
No, because Twitter is notoriously toxic as fuck.
I mean, fair. Okay, thanks for coming on, by
No
the way.
problem.
Appreciate you. Get off Twitter. I mean, he's not wrong. Let's bring on the next guy.
It is bad.
What you got?
Hello?
You're live. What are your thoughts?
So from what I understand, what Ayla did was she basically put out boyfriend applications for all her fans. Yes, so I fully got it understood.
If that's true, that sounds pretty bad. I mean, not like, I mean, like, there's worse things in the world you can do, but that's what I'm talking about here.
Are we talking about Pixie here, or are we talking about someone else?
Ayla.
Yeah, Pixie. That's
Oh,
what
I don't.
Pixie.
know.
Oh, Ayla is someone else. I thought you were talking about, if Ayla did this, it would be even worse because Ayla is really big.
No, I'm talking about Pixie.
Okay.
Whoever we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking about Pixie.
Okay.
Yeah, so Pixie put out boyfriend applications to all her fans, right?
More or less. Like, she didn't like make a sheet that was like an application, but she said, if you meet these criteria, send me a selfie and like tell me something about yourself. So she told fans to apply to be her boyfriend.
I mean, okay, so here's my idea.
First of all, your mic is weird. Can you adjust it? I don't know if you're like covering it up or what, but it's hard to hear you.
Is this better?
Yes. What you got?
Okay. So my whole thing is, I think there's a difference. Okay, I guess this is how I would say it, right? If I personally smoke cigarettes, that can be like okay for me personally, but in a society where lots of people smoke cigarettes, that's probably not a good thing. Or like where people constantly feel the need to do it, it's probably not a good thing. So that's kind of how I would liken this, right?
So,
Like her
if I
action
may,
isn't necessarily. Go ahead.
so in your opinion, just so I understand it, is that what Pixie is doing is her doing it as a one-off might not be an issue, but everyone doing it would be bad. Do you think that everyone putting out a list of qualities that they want and saying, contact me if you meet these qualities, is a bad thing?
No, more so, I mean, in a society, like her specifically doing it on her own isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a society in which there's like thousands of lonely, desperate men that can be negatively affected by like one famous girl putting out a boyfriend application is kind of fucked. It's kind of like it's like in the perfect world, it would be okay for anyone to like state their preferences racially for who we're dating. But considering we live in such a heavily racialized world, saying I only date white people is gonna hit a lot different than in a world where everything was actually like okay when it comes to race. I don't know if that makes sense. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting?
Yeah, that's a different point that I haven't really even been talking about, but just listing off the qualities publicly makes people like say they don't even have this parasocial thing, but they do think you're attractive and they look up to you. Now they're thinking that they're not good enough because they're comparing themselves. It's like if you were publicly to say that you only like one race, that's not that is like kind of toxic to all the people.
Now?
If you say that you only like white people,
putting out a list of qualities is inherently toxic.
Yeah, if you say that you only like white people, then to all the people that aren't white, now they feel like devalued and like
so
I don't think you should publicly.
I only like interesting and funny people.
That was kind of my point.
Yeah.
That was kind of my point. That was the whole thing that I was getting to. That in the world that we currently live, what's her face did
Pixie
was harmful. Even if I don't think purely it was something wrong, what she did was like harmful in our current world, and that's why it's like kind of bad. I wouldn't say you can't do it, but I do think it's definitely harmful, and I think it would be silly to suggest.
I'm going to have an aneurysm. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be good. If we are seriously saying that putting out a list of qualities is inherently toxic because some people won't meet those qualities and then we'll feel bad because they don't meet those qualities, I don't know what to do with you guys.
But we're talking about public figures,
not bit different because they're exactly. They're a public figure. We're not talking about just some random girl who has a couple Instagram followers and they're all like people we know. We're talking about a girl with like thousands of people who are fawning over her every fucking hour of the day. Like, I think
Do
it's
you
a
think
different
Pixie's
scale.
having thousands of people fawning over her every day?
She probably has
If I'm
1,000.
being completely honest, I don't even know who the fuck Pixie is. I've heard her on Destiny stream a couple times. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know her Instagram. I don't know none of that. But uh, that's what I was picking up from you guys' conversation. They were saying it was bad that, for a woman who has all these people out, it's kind of perverse for the same reason that OnlyFans is perverse. But I'm not comfortable saying women can't do that. Just like I'm not comfortable saying Pixie can't do what she did. I'm just saying it's obviously probably not good for men,
I think
right?
the
Yeah.
money exchange in OnlyFans makes your argument for that a little stronger. I still have issues with it, right? But I think that makes it stronger. Again, as I said earlier, if Pixie was saying, here 3 subs, or if you sub to me, or if you watch my content, like if she had you have to engage with my content in a certain way, or else you don't qualify. Then I'm hearing you, and we're having a different conversation. But she didn't do that at all. But we got a bit of a line. Thank you for your contribution. We're gonna let you go now.
Okay.
I hate it. 7, hello.
Hello.
You're live.
Wait, I'm live?
You're live, yes.
Oh, hey. So I have a slightly different angle on this. I'm not sure if anyone else has come on and said this, but I think we should be real that it isn't about Pixie dating fans, because she will not date a fan. There is no world in which a random fan DMs her and she's going to be interested in them and date them. What she's actually doing is baiting engagement and leading fans on to think that they can date her, the way that OnlyFans models do with their subscribers. And she doesn't have an OnlyFans, but she does have her Venmo in her profile and obviously Twitch donations. So what she's really doing, she's using lonely men to hustle. She's baiting engagement and attention at the very least. And the latter part of that is kind of fine, but it's cringe and it makes women look bad.
7, no, you're failing me. What is this? No, this is wrong.
It's true.
I don't think. So your contention here, and please, if I get it wrong, correct me, is that this is engagement bait, that she's doing it simply, that she's not serious about her call to action. She doesn't really believe she's going to date any of these people. She's simply doing it in order to drive engagement and drive specifically men to engage with her. That's your claim?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's a claim. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Hold on.
Why do you say this? Like, under what? Like, let's talk about this. Why do you say this?
Wait.
Why? What about Pixie and how she's engaged with this space leads you to believe that that's what she's doing?
Because existing as a woman online, you're constantly getting DMs from all kinds of guys who think they have a chance with you, and she's leading them on to think that that is going to lead somewhere. And if she was looking for someone on Twitter, she would simply be engaging with those people, but she's not. I guarantee you that she isn't. And she might even complain about that kind of attention. And now she's fueling the idea that we want it. Like, I constantly get accused of this kind of thing just for existing online, and she's making that worse for women, because these are the kind of assumptions people make.
Yeah, you have one of those voices. You sound like you have like that voice where you kind of sound like you're smiling. I bet a lot of guys message you.
Well, they don't usually hear my voice, but
Smeth, don't be weird. But
No.
I think that simply, like, I hear you about being a woman on the internet, right? Like, I don't have that experience, but I've heard enough from enough women that I believe you when you say that, right? I just don't think that being the meta, if you will, makes it what Pixie specifically is doing predatory. Do you think it's predatory for a woman outside of this space to say, hey, gang, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Here's what I'd like. If you meet what I'd like, hit me up. Do you think that outside of the internet, if they did it like at their in their sewing circle or book club or whatever, Do you think that that would be inherently predatory?
No, it would just be cringe.
That's not what we're talking
But
about.
it's obviously a different context because she has a platform.
I have a question, Wick. So like, I'm not like, I mean, like, so I think that what Seven is saying could be true. Like that's a possibility. Like she did it to drive engagement, but I don't think that Pixie would do that. But regardless of if it's in her intention or not, it's hard to argue that that's the effect it would have, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. I wouldn't say that's her intention, but that's the effect, and I think that's damaging.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. That's the parasite. Like you're driving all these men to now like have that feeling about you and like try to reach out and to have like bonding with you in a weird way.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's just sort of a fact that men think that if they donate to you and support you and gas you up on your platform, that they think that means they're more likely to have a chance.
Sure, and I agree with you, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If she was like asking for subs or saying, "Hey, if you're a tier 3 sub, then you're much more likely for me to read your message or whatever," that would be a one thing, and I would be with you on that. But that's not what she's doing. She's not being she she, she never implied in word or in deed that this was going to be the case. Now, if some people assume that because they're horny guys, how is that on Pixie?
Well,
Is Pixie not allowed to express her desires online because someone might take it wrong?
it's different when you're making it sound. I mean, I know it was it Ayla that made it explicitly an application.
Yeah, Ayla made it
Um,
a survey of some sort that you had to fill out. I forget the drama with that, right? But
Yeah, and I think that what Pixie's doing is sort of unintentionally baiting that, even if she's not saying that.
I I fundamentally 7. You're great. I think you're wrong. I think you're dead wrong on this. But
So you
we
don't
can,
think that's the effect that it's going to have? You don't think that there are
I
delusional men who are
think
going to donate to her
that
thinking that?
they would be doing this regardless of what she does at all. That the people who would do that are going to do it simply because she exists,
Do
right?
you want to do an experiment where I post something like that and see if more teams
Do you want to do that experiment? Because it ain't gonna
That's
affect me. But let's do
that's
that.
the
How about
thing.
this? If you're willing, we can do this. We look. I'm gonna make money off of this. I'm gonna monetize you, 7. Okay. We can
I
have
can't. It's disrespectful to my boyfriend. I wouldn't do that. It's
fair
just
enough.
that that's genuinely how I think that it would go.
Okay.
And I think like it's easy to say, it's easy to not have sympathy or empathy for the men who do this stuff because it is delusional, it is entitled, whatever. But I still do because I mean we've been talking about the problems with lonely men and how they engage online and how they're looking for affection and companionship in the wrong places. And I think this is going to amplify that.
I agree with you that they are deserving of sympathy, that it is a real problem, but I disagree with you that Pixie is in any way, shape, or form feeding into it by simply expressing her opinions. I think that there are people who absolutely do feed into that, who do manipulate their audiences, who are parasocial in a very, very toxic and negative way. I think that simply what Pixie did is not that. I think Pixie simply saying, "Here are the qualities I want. If you're interested, DM me," is not feeding into that. I don't see the connection. I know that you're saying that it's simply the ocean we live in and the ocean we swim in, and it's just going to naturally occur. But I think it's wrong to say that Pixie is feeding into that. I just don't think that's
So
true.
But
if
okay, so you would
if
make
they
the distinction between what she did and what Ayla did, right?
I'm not as familiar with what Ayla did. I'm gonna be real with you. So it's very hard for me to make any comparisons because I'm not very familiar with that. I heard of it. I just didn't engage with it. So
Right. Because I think that her just listing what her type is and what she's looking for is fine. But when she says, like, if you fit this, send me a DM with a selfie, she's definitely doing a call to action that makes people feel like they have an in.
do you think And I also disagree with you that she would never date a fan. I think she would. I don't think Pixie. I don't think. I don't think Pixie's lying when she says she wouldn't ever in any way, shape, or form have any romantic interest in any of her fans. And I think Ayla absolutely probably would fulfill like the call to action on her little survey. I think that she absolutely would fuck her fans. I think she's done it before and will do it again. And I think Pixie would be open to potentially to a relationship. So I guess my biggest issue is I take issue with you saying that she's lying about this. I don't think she is.
The thing is, Pixie's
I
just
well,
she's so naive. She's naive because she's not like Ayla. Like for the other arguments still apply, but like this is why I think it hurt her because she's not like Ayla's like a sex worker. Like Pixie's not a sex worker. Like I don't think she realizes the thing that she's stoking when she does that.
yeah. Well, that I'm not necessarily calling her a liar or saying that she has bad intentions because obviously I can't know that. I'm mostly talking about the effect, and when I say that she wouldn't date a fan, I feel that all these guys DMing her don't have a shot. I think that she might think she's open to it, but I highly doubt it. And it's because of that position of not power, but she's in a very different position than they are.
Okay. Well, Seven, thank you for coming on.
No
I
problem. Thanks for
appreciate the
having
little
me.
back and forth, but we got like a fucking ton in the line there, so we got to get to them. But I will see you when I see you.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.
Man, all y'all jumping in for this one. We already talked to you, Punk. Let's bring in. I know there was an order that people came in, but I got to be real with you. I don't remember it, so I'm gonna just pull people in. What you got, Emery? You're live.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm molding. I think
What's
people's
up?
takes on this are bad.
I'm
But
talking to my buddy Wick. I'm talking to Smith, my little buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Talk to Smith.
Hi,
Go ahead.
Emery.
Hey, man. So your take is pretty good, but I also feel like you're a little, I don't know. What's the point overall? Like what's the general like point of saying it? Like it's really not a big deal at the end of the day.
Okay, like there's two like scenarios. I think it's the first one I'm gonna say, but there's two scenarios. Like it's like I
Sure.
think that she's gonna get hurt,
Mhm.
and I think that either she's hurting or taking advantage of her fans. And I don't even, and if she's not taking advantage of her fans, it's still gonna happen. It's just not her intention. And so, but I also think she's gonna get hurt. It just like when I saw that, I was like, this doesn't seem good. And so I just tweeted about it. And I mean, I like, I'm not trying to like fight with Pixie either. And I mean, I'm really interested in how Pixie feels about me saying this, because like,
Yeah.
I don't think Pixie's like a bad. I'm like worried for her, and I mean, maybe that she why does she even care about that? Like, I don't really know Pixie, but that's why I felt that
Do
way.
you feel like it's infantilizing a little bit? And I'm not saying that to be like overly negative to you about this, but do you think there's like an infantilization of her fans and herself that they couldn't navigate like a potential healthy relationship? Like I agree with you. I can see where like this could go wrong in so many different ways. But do you think like she should be allowed to do that? Like do you think it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's I don't it's you're allowed to do it. I just think it's toxic. Like it's not like, I mean, I can like to some extent I consider myself kind of a fan of Ayla, and she did that. I didn't even really know about it until just now, but like, of course Ayla did that. Like when I hear that, it's like, of course Ayla did that. Of course. But like
Now,
it's not
I'ma
like
bring it-
condemnable, but it's just not good.
Can I
I'm
ask
agreeing.
if I may interject? Because I didn't ask this before. I'm very curious. Smith, did you talk to Pixie about this at all?
No.
Privately?
Nope.
No, you just okay. So
Wait, I'm gonna bring it a little bit personal to you. You have a OnlyFans or some sort of thing, right? Right? You have that, right? Are you still doing that, or what's up with that?
I'm not really still doing it, but yeah, it's not OnlyFans. It's not really monetized at all.
Okay. So, do you think it's like do you think it's sort of similar? I'm not even like
Yeah, a little bit
attacking
actually.
you. I
Yeah.
actually kind of am curious about the element of like the parasocial idea of like being a streamer first and then kind of promoting an OnlyFans.
I'm not promoting. I'm not.
maybe potential-
I'm not promoting an OnlyFans.
Okay. I mean, you not now. I know you did once, but
No.
you're not actively doing it.
Never.
Right? Never.
I do have an OnlyFans with like 1 follower, and like it's locked down. There's nobody, like, there's nothing on it. But I mean, I have the
Yeah.
account.
Okay.
I guess the
I'm not-
bigger hypothetical would be is if your OnlyFans was a little bit more successful, do you think that would be like
I'm not trying to be successful with
somewhat,
my
like,
OnlyFans though.
problematic? No, I'm saying if this were the case though, like I'm just bringing it to that area. Do you think that would be
I
like
think-
a bad thing for you and your fans potentially?
Is letting the people listening to your stream right now know that you had an OnlyFans or something similar toxic?
So I think that it's not really. It's like
Oh, it's okay. Not toxic when you do it.
the thing that is toxic about the parasocial thing is when you are every time I fucking talk, you start fucking sighing. The thing that is toxic is when you're interacting with your fans. So like you can be a porn star, and it's not toxic to your fans to be a porn star, and you can be a like you can be a street, like you can make videos, but it's actually like streaming is like worse than making videos to your fans, because when you are a streamer, then the boundary between you and your fans is more dissolved. Like they think that they're more close to you and stuff, and then if you tell them that they could be their boyfriend, then it's even more dissolved. And if you tell them, like, if you know, like, so like the number of things to dissolve it. I think boyfriend applications are worse for the fan than OnlyFans.
Wow, that's the take. Well, Emery, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your comments. Any last words before I send you to the void? Doesn't matter sending you to the void. Cool. No, we love you, Emery. Thanks for coming in. I don't know you actually. Let's bring in the next person. What you got? You're live. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you're live. What you got?
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Oh man, that backstage. Whew, that was rough. Anyway,
You
Smith.
guys behaving back there?
Some people were not, unfortunately.
Oh, naughty. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Someone got banned. Let's not repeat her name. Anyway, so Smith, it seems like you put correct me if I'm wrong. Do you put every human social interaction on a spectrum of a power dynamic?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Are they only good ones and bad ones? Because you kept using the words toxic, harmful, and the words good. So it sounds like there's a spectrum, but it's a binary. There's only good or bad.
No.
So where would you? Elaborate. Is there a middle ground somewhere in every general human interaction with a power dynamic?
I think that there is, between everybody, for some people, it's going to be like 0 on the spectrum. Like the power dynamic between me and
0
like,
as in like not plus 10 or minus 10, but 0 in the middle.
This is a spectrum of 0 to 100, and the power dynamic between, actually, well, there's fucking arguments you could make, but like socially, the power dynamic between me and like some random person in China is 0 because I don't know who they are, and like you could say that Whick maybe
we're not
has.
talking about that. We're talking about social interactions, as in we are
Okay.
communicating.
Yes.
If every type of social interaction, going to the
Do
grocery
you want to
store,
hear what
is a
I
power
fucking
dynamic.
have to say? Okay. So their power dynamic.
But you're not understanding my question because
You let me answer
your
it.
whole because you're trying to say 0 to 100, and I'm trying to get you to understand that you've been talking about in a binary.
Okay, no,
good
first
and
you
bad,
asked me, okay,
harmful.
first, no, actually, no, I'm trying to tell you you're wrong. That's not what I think, and you're trying to tell me that I think it's a binary, but I already agreed that I think it's a spectrum.
Well, that's what I've heard this entire. I've heard this in your.
So because you think that because I think some things are bad, that means I cannot possibly think of it in a spectrum.
not
Because
say
if I think that some things,
that
some things are good and some things are bad.
To clarify something. I'm trying to
Some
get you to
things are more
clarify
good.
something.
So
I've been listening to you.
for every good thing, there's something that's even more good, and for every bad thing, there's something that's even more bad. So yes, it's a spectrum, and it's not a binary.
Zero, as in neutral, a true neutral. Is there a true neutral ever?
Yeah.
Power dynamic ever.
Power dynamic?
Yes?
No. Like so if it is
that's
true,
what we're talking about. Only power dynamics. Good and bad. And true neutral. Is there a true neutral power dynamic
there is no true neutral because 0 is like the lack of any dynamic.
Okay. So there's always let's just for the sake of conversation, let's say there's always going to be some sort of power dynamic. It's never going to be entirely equal. But the question becomes, in my mind, so what?
Yeah. I agree.
But that's the problem. Smith has to elaborate to say that there are very harmful or toxic ones, and
That's
we
not-
as
no.
a crowd listen to this and go, as a general person, I'm just explaining it from a listener. It seems like you're using these words when
To say
I think
things
you're putting too much emphasis.
you don't
on
get
them.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I could probably explain it to you.
Yeah, but you're not getting. You're not.
I could probably explain to you. I could probably communicate.
You're not communicating in a good way.
If you want me to communicate what you want me to
yes, we get
communicate,
there
it's
is a
not going to
power
happen.
dynamic,
Okay.
but
Yes.
to
Okay.
use the words
You keep
toxic
telling
or
me.
harmful.
Yeah.
When we're
okay.
talking about
I think you're.
I think it's a little much, and I think
Okay.
most people.
I'm ready to respond. Okay, so you keep like saying that I am saying that there are harmful power dynamics and like toxic power. No, like no power dynamic in and of itself is ever harmful. Like just like Wicca said, like who cares? Yeah, it is how you like engage with the power dynamic. If you use the power dynamic like Wick's example to brigade your fans to harass somebody, that is a toxic engagement with a power dynamic. And that way it's different because it's toxic to the person you're brigading. But like I think there are toxic engagements.
Let him finish.
There are toxic ways to engage with the power dynamic that are harmful to the person who you have power over.
I gotcha. So, is there ever a way that Pixie, in this situation, if she's lonely and she wants to get in touch with people, you're saying that Twitter was just the wrong place to do it because it's a public platform?
Yes.
Is that your general consensus? Because
Yeah,
if it was a
to her
private
fans.
place, then
She
doesn't
shouldn't.
matter.
She shouldn't do it.
Okay,
She shouldn't do it to her fans.
go ahead.
That's what I think.
What is she doing to her fans?
Boyfriend application.
She's not causing them to do any actions, correct? She's putting out to the world that
Okay.
she has these requirements, which I didn't even get to hear the whole thing about not having requirements, which is silly anyway. But it's like she wants these sort of requirements in order to date somebody, and she puts it on a public platform. You see it as a harm because it's only fans now have to act on this?
No. Nobody has to do anything.
So why is it harmful? She's not causing any action being done to her fans, right? Oh no, you're so defeated.
Okay.
No, she's not forcing anyone to do anything. Like they're people like having fans. Fans are people who look up to you and they think highly of you. Telling them that they have a chance with you. She's not if I say that if I tell you that if you suck my dick, I'm gonna give you $2 billion. I didn't force you to suck my dick. It's your problem if
Yeah,
you suck my
that's
dick.
right.
Okay, that's retarded.
Okay.
You have this Zen way of like
You
the
didn't
frog
give
the
me to
frog
do it. What are you
the
talking
frog
about?
jumps in the lake, splash. That's the like, Zen poem. The frog didn't cause the splash, it just happened. The frog jumped and it went in the lake, and there's like you're disconnecting everything from everything else in this fucking retarded
Well,
Zen
I don't
way.
know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know you don't.
You completely
I need to
lost
get
the
some
mark.
more callers.
You completely lost the mark. Okay,
I need
bye,
to
Okay.
get
Wade.
some more
Thanks.
callers. I think you've made your point, and we'll see you.
Also,
when
Wick,
we see
you did have that dating show with her, so I'm just saying
I
you're
did have that
kind of
dating show with her. Was
kinda
that being
implicated
toxic?
in
I don't
this.
know. I don't know.
So that's what this is all about.
Don't make it weird. I was wanting to make money, and I did, and I will monetize the shit out of everyone I can. Okay, I make that very upfront, very clear.
Yeah.
As I said at the beginning of the stream, if you come on my show, you're content. If you're in my general chat in my Discord, you're not content. And if someone tries to put you on blast, like President Sunday did, I will shut it down because you have not signed up to be content. Okay, with that said, let's bring in a couple more people and we'll get through it. You're live.
What you just said was great, though. That's a great boundary to have with your fans.
It's not
You do get
fans,
it.
it's with people in general.
Right.
You're live. What you got?
Quick question. How does Pixie have fans?
I don't know. She fucking streams and stuff. She was on like the whatever pod. Like she's like she just talked to didn't she talk to fucking like Pearl, like just pearly things too. Like she's
Candace Owens, just pearly things. There's a few people
Yeah.
she's talked with.
Yeah, she gets shitted on constantly by everyone. She goes in the
Okay.
most red pill community and get like basically like verbally abused for like 2 to 3 hours.
I'm a
She
fan
doesn't
of
get
Pixie.
fans from this.
Okay. Well, I'm a fan of Pixie.
Oh.
I guess you don't like her.
And yes, you've never seen her stream.
Okay. He's just saying that she sucks.
Like-
That's whatever. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, no, that's legit my argument. She doesn't have fans.
Okay,
The whole
I'm her
idea
fan.
that like you
I'm
put
her fan.
forward
I'm her fan.
is that
Deal with
like,
it.
she got fans.
Deal with it.
She
I am
doesn't
her
have
fan.
people who
I-
like, well, what-
I'm her fan. I'm her fan. Deal with it. You lose.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
so,
Good
so
day.
Mr.
How?
Geek's argument seems to be that she hasn't reached the threshold of having any sort of power, right? Where she doesn't.
That's
have
not the
a
argument
following
he is making.
of worth.
No, that's not the argument
Am
he's
I-
making.
It's
Am I wrong?
literally the
He's
argument
saying
I'm
he's saying that
Okay.
she sucks. He's like, have you ever watched her stream? He's just saying that she sucks. She has reached the threshold of power. She's talked to like all these like she's talked to Candace Owens. She's talked to just pearly things. She's been on the whatever podcast. She's talked to Destiny a
in
shit ton of times.
communities that despite her.
He just thinks she sucks, and she doesn't. So
No, I don't. I'm a mod for her. I know her community. I know her stream. I legit like offer my services to her in the sense of like video editor.
okay.
I'm not an anti-fan or anything. I'm just like someone who knows like her stream, who knows that like she get 40 viewer average and that none of them are fans.
Okay, that's bullshit. You like okay, you're gaslighting me right now. Like she has 40 viewer hours and none of them are fans. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You can
nobody
have viewers without having
nobody
fans. You know,
nobody looks up to her and nobody has a crush on her. Like that's what you think. Like she's just repulsive and everybody hates her.
having a crush
That's what
is
you
not
think.
being a fan.
Okay.
Having a crush is not being a fan.
Okay. I disagree.
Cool.
And
You
any
haven't
other angle?
substantiated anything. You've like built this scenario where like